Good evening and welcome to the Self Checkout Show with your host, Pastor Will, along with Coach Christo. We are glad to have you with us tonight. Tonight, we are talking about etiquette. We're talking about
Yes.
etiquette, and we will get more into that in just a few minutes. Before we go any further, let me remind you that the election is coming next week. Next Tuesday, it is in 8 days. If you are not registered to vote, you can go to www.iwillvote.com to register. I think that for the state of Illinois, I think that online registration has ended, maybe, but
Mm,
you can go to that website and check, or you can go to your local polling place with two pieces of ID. One of those needs to have your address on it, and you can register there. If you are, I'm just talking, I haven't shared the thing. If you have registered already, well and fine, get out and vote.
yes.
Next Tuesday, get out and vote. Jobs are
Yes.
even allowing people hours to come in late or to
Mm-hmm.
leave work early
Mm-hmm.
um, to go and vote. So make sure you exercise your right. I have said it before and I will say it again. Personally, I don't care who you vote for. That is your choice. That is your vote. That is your voice. Vote for whoever you want to. Just go out and vote. Good evening, Bishop Holloway. Glad to have you with us tonight. Get out and vote. I, if you're still undecided, I advise you to go to each one of their websites to view their policies
Yeah.
on, you know, what they are saying that they're gonna do and all the promises that they're gonna make, all of that. You know, uh, and not only that, you should also check out these rallies that they are hosting in all of these battleground states because what you won't see on their websites are the things that they're saying at these rallies.
Yeah. It's
Some of
important also to know
Yeah,
that you're not just voting for the president this year. You're voting for
absolutely.
the House and the
Yeah,
Senate.
yeah,
So you want to make sure that you're voting, how you choose to vote in order
yeah,
to get the things that you know are going to be passed through. Because
absolutely.
he or she is just the face of the country.
Yeah. So you gotta make sure you get out there, guys, and listen to what they are saying
Mm-hmm.
in these rallies. I saw clips of one that just happened, I think yesterday.
Yes.
Um, it's in your email, doctor. Let me, I'll resend it. Um, and I wasn't surprised yet,
Right.
yet I was still a little surprised
Yeah.
because we're only a few days away from the election and you are like really saying really nasty racist things about
Yeah.
various groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just say if that's who you align with, then more power to you. Do your thing. I just don't believe in that. I don't
Mm-mm.
support that.
Mm-mm.
And another thing, Crystal, Coach, let's be honest, y'all. Hey, Denise Dunn, so glad to have you.
Hey.
Um, I don't care what side you on. All these politicians make a lot of promises that they don't
True.
keep.
A fact.
They all lie. They all
A
tell
fact.
lies.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are crooks or crooked in one way or another. So it's not even about that, y'all. Just get out and vote. All right. That's all I'll say about that. Now, on to other things. Coach Crystal is back with us. You have been away in ATL.
Yes.
How
It
was
treated me
that?
so good. I had an
How
amazing time.
was
I had an
that?
amazing time. It was
It looks
packed.
like you did.
I did Usher. We did tea. We did brunch. We did a progressive dinner. So we went to multiple restaurants for
Yeah.
dinner, appetizers, cocktails, all of that. And then, well, we did some other things. I won't, mention that. We had a good
Okay,
time.
all
We
right.
had a good time.
That's awesome. So happy that you had a great time. Listen, you guys, I want you that are watching. First of all, thank you to those of you that watch wherever you watch, or if you listen to the audio podcast. We appreciate you. Uh, those that listen to us on Spotify, we appreciate you. But right now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to either share this. Well, I do want you, not either. I want you to do both. I want you to share it, and then I want you to tag somebody that is single, male or female. Tag somebody that's single. Tag somebody that doesn't have any children. Okay, and tag somebody who may have told you or share with you that they have struggles with weight gain or weight loss. I want you to do that because we need to talk about some stuff tonight. Good evening, Dr. Nancy. I see you. I know you are on the road.
Hey family, hi.
Hey, best friend.
You
Hey
are
best
on the
friend.
road. How close are you guys?
We're 20 minutes almost home.
Oh, good, good, good.
Yeah.
Glad to see your face. I really wasn't expecting you to be on tonight. I know you are extremely tired. But thank you for coming on.
All is well. You know, we ride together, we die together. I
That's
wouldn't
how
say
that's
that
how
much
it goes.
in life, but me and my
We all can't die together now. Who gonna be a child at the funeral?
Speaking of funerals, I'm glad you said that. The most bizarre thing happened this past Saturday at Pastor Anthony Spencer's church. Thankfully, he is fine. Their church members are fine. It got real weird and crazy there. It was all over the news and everything. Um,
Is that the one where they had the? I guess it was an altercation.
yeah, the police had to go in and pull
Okay.
folks out. Head got busted and all of
Ooh,
that. Yeah, but Pastor Spencer is fine, and we are happy that he and his church and his wife, family are okay.
yeah.
All right, guys. Let me preface the beginning of this talk tonight with this. Yesterday, it actually happened to me yesterday. I was at my nephew Rain's birthday party, and I was sitting down having a conversation with some people. We were having fun, talking and laughing and stuff. And someone walked past me and patted my stomach like that.
Oh.
Now, let me back up. Before that happened, it happened earlier at the same event. I was standing up and it was a pat on the stomach. Now I'm sitting down having a conversation. They walked around by me and reached down, patted me on my stomach, and it was this close
Mm-hmm.
to me going off in that place. But I did say something. I said to them, please do not ever do that to me again. And nothing else was said. Now, I don't, because I know them, I know that they meant no harm.
Yeah.
I know their character. So I know they didn't mean any harm. However, that's a boundary that I have. And that is something that I just don't particularly care for.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm overweight. I'm well aware. I live with me every day. I see me. I know this. But I don't think it's okay to do things like that.
Correct.
In my personal space, and so what I really mean is this right here. Stop being rude,
Mm-hmm.
because whether you want to admit it or not, that, my friends, is very, very rude
And disrespectful.
and disrespectful,
Mm-hmm.
boundary crossing.
Mm-hmm.
Because see, what if I bring a mask to an event and say, "Ooh, here, you need to put this on."
Oh.
See, then folks gonna be ready to fight
Mm-hmm.
because that's rude and it's disrespectful. Because
Mm-hmm.
low key, I just called you ugly. That's rude. How rude is that? It's the
Mm-hmm.
same way when you walk around and you pat somebody on their belly.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, stop being rude. Um, and I'm yeah, I'm glad that I was around the people that I was around, because that kind of kept me muzzled a little bit, Coach.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it's some.
That's all.
I had already lost some kingdom points watching that Bears game.
Oh Lord.
I was about to lose some more at this party because it was some thoughts and words had rose up in my throat, and I said, "Nope, I'm not at the right place where I can say what I."
And for this, we give God praise.
Oh
Yes.
yes, but I handled it um very sternly
Oh
as to
yeah.
where they knew I wasn't playing. Okay, um, so again, I want to repeat. I know that they didn't mean any harm, but it's just this is just one of the things that you just don't do because
Right.
it's rude and it's disrespectful. And so I wanted it to bring. It's funny that we're talking about this tonight because in the midst of this conversation we're having tonight, just 24 hours ago, this thing happened to me. So I wanted to bring this up. Um, etiquette. It's the customary code of polite behavior in society or among members of a particular profession or group. There are a lot of different definitions for it, but I just wanted to bring that one up. Um, that's just a way I feel that we ought to just act,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you in public.
Mm-hmm.
Stella, good evening. Good evening. Glad to have you. And I'm really glad to have you because you are one of the ones that I really wanted to see this show tonight. Um, you grown folk, you just need to know how to act. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Because they used to say, look at folks' kids and say, "I ain't got no home training."
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's true. They used to say that. And sadly, depending on where you are and who you're with, you can look around. You can kind of tell some of these folks weren't raised the way I was raised.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Because
everything isn't funny. Everything just isn't funny. Nor is it
absolutely,
created. We're told not to even necessarily walk up to a pregnant woman and pat her on her stomach without
Correct.
asking first. So
absolutely, absolutely. It's rude and disrespectful.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way around it. It's rude and it's disrespectful. So it's a few things that I want to talk about tonight in relation to this topic. And number one, since I started with myself, it is the weight gain or the weight loss. Um, so here's one. It's so many things, but here's one thing I found. Um, this was on today.com. It's five. They say there's five things that you should never say to someone who has gained weight. All right, and this is just one of them I picked. Um, y'all, this right here, that's not how you greet somebody, and I've seen it happen.
Oh yes.
I have seen it happen. Ooh, you done put on a few pounds. Oh, I'm fine. How you doing?
Oh.
Where we get this stuff from?
A lot of people just think they, well, you know what happens is that you have a specific kind of relationship just between the two, and y'all might talk back and forth that way. But when we get out in public, I don't want to discuss what we discussed in private or how I feel in public.
You
It's
know,
a, when you was little, your parents just say you need to control yourself, so you need to
y'all,
contain it.
Coach Crystal, Dr. Nancy, y'all are my sisters. I
Hmm.
would never walk up to you and say, "Ooh, you didn't put on a few pounds."
Yeah.
Not in
I
that
don't
Yeah.
care if
context.
it's just me and you. I'm not doing that.
Mm-mm. But people get comfortable. They get comfortable,
Hmm. Or
and even
they'll hear you
Mhm.
playing around with your friends or your
Uh-huh.
connections, and then they want to be a part, if you will, and then they'll start saying just random stuff, thinking it's funny or it's gonna get them in. People need to understand that that's not okay.
But see, I'm just this way. I'll poke fun at myself because it's funny to me to make
Right.
fun of me.
But if
But
you do it, it's not okay for somebody else to do it. Just because
right,
you do
right,
it,
right. That's
right?
just like if me and one of my siblings get into a fight, let us fight. You ain't a sibling. Don't you come
Right,
over
you
here
can't
saying
fight
Yeah,
us.
nothing, doing nothing, because we
exactly.
gonna
Mhm.
stop what we doing and we
Mhm.
gonna get you,
We're gonna get
right?
you, right?
So when I went to the doctor said I was this weight, my BMI was this, and I said, okay, I'm kind of okay with the weight, but the BMI wasn't BMI in the way I wanted it to, which means that both have to come down.
Yeah.
So I took the initiative after that because I said they only got to tell me one time, and I'm gonna
Amen.
start doing something about it. And
Yeah.
so the easiest thing for me to do is to walk. I looked it up and researched it. You walk a minimum of 2 miles a day, you can drop this amount of pounds and change your diet also, drink water, blah, blah, blah. Which I'm gonna get back on too because I kind of fell off. But
Oh,
we
that's
gonna
so
start
good.
over again.
That's so good. That water is the whole situation.
I'm trying to tell you, man. Hey, mama, I love you.
Hey,
So,
mom.
and my mama, now that she's here, she asked me yesterday or day before, "You still doing your walking?" I said, "Well, I'm gonna start again Tuesday." Because
We
I
fall
had
down,
taken.
get up. No, we fall down. A just man falls 7 times.
Listen,
But we gotta
I'm
get
on my
back up.
first one. I'm on my first one, but I'm
That's
getting back
normally the
up
way it
tomorrow.
goes. That's
um,
that's normally the
but
way it goes.
if doing well for most of us, I think for most people, just about everybody put on a couple of pounds during the pandemic when we couldn't
That-
go nowhere.
A
You
couple of
know,
pounds, a lot of pounds. Or we even lost a lot.
pandemic pounds. Okay,
Mm, yeah,
we put on some pandemic pounds. Um, and for a lot of people, for most people, I would say it's easy to gain, but it's so hard to lose.
so true. So true.
And
That's the way that the world is set up though. Like, I was sharing this with some people, or with some ladies actually over the weekend. Have you ever noticed that sugar cereals, the cereals that taste really good, just for instance, are the most affordable cereals, but the healthy cereals, hence like your crackling oat
that's
brain,
true.
cost almost $10 a box.
And it's not even just the cereal. I mean, just food in
But that's
general.
the
The
yeah,
healthier the food, the more
the
expensive
more
it costs.
expensive, for sure. For sure.
You can get a greasy burger for $2, but you're gonna pay about $10, if not
For a
For a
more, for a
salad.
good
salad.
salad.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah. So we all done put on a pound or two or five or 10, whatever. But if you haven't seen somebody in a while or you see them regularly and you can notice the gait the weight gain, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is not okay to greet somebody like this. You put on a few pounds? Seriously? That's not a greeting.
That's
That's
correct.
rude as all get out.
It
It's
is.
rude. So you and another thing about that, coach. See, we really don't know because everybody that's gaining weight, y'all, is not lazy or
Facts.
True.
whatever. You don't know what's going on inside of somebody's body.
True.
Yeah.
True.
When I had to take prednisone, when I had pneumonia, I gained weight
It'll blow you up.
just from taking medicine.
Yeah, it
Mm.
will.
Mm-hmm.
So Mama said I can attest that the healthy foods will get you. We just talked about that, me and Mom, the other day. How expensive food is in general, but
Yeah.
especially healthy food. So you don't know what's happening inside of somebody's body. There are physical ailments and medications that people
That's
take
so
that
true.
cause you to gain weight,
So
Yeah.
true.
and there's nothing that you can do about it because you got to take the medicine.
So
Yep.
true.
So I think that we should just be a little more kind and gentler when it comes to things like this, weight gain, even weight loss. You know, how little you gonna get? Mind your business.
Huh.
Why is it your concern how big or small someone is?
Oh,
I
they
don't know
care.
what's wrong with people,
They care.
and it doesn't. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why are you policing people's lives? You know, it's a the gym don't cost a whole lot.
Oh.
Well, pay for a membership and you go.
Right.
Because if I wanted to go to a gym, I would.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hey Tabby, glad to have you with us tonight.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. People just rude and nosy. Oh,
Yeah.
now
That's
Stella,
the
we
problem.
really gonna hit that nosy in a very few minutes. We gonna hit that in a few minutes. People are rude and they are nosy, and I can, you know, everybody can look at somebody else and you can pinpoint something that you could say about them or
Yes.
question them about themselves.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
That's one lesson my mother always gave Melanie and I. Is that everybody has a flaw. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to be,
Everybody.
yep, you have to be mindful of it.
So
Yep.
how I don't know how people think it's okay for you to point out my flaws, and if I point out yours, it's a problem.
Right.
Yeah. The quicker they point out yours, the less attention that's on theirs.
A
That's
deflection.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just think that we ought to be more mindful of the things that we say to people.
Hmm.
Um, when you gonna lose some weight, when you gonna gain some weight, when you gonna mind your business, when you
Yeah.
gonna shut up.
That
How about that? I'm sorry, I didn't mute my phone. Um, because I try my best. God in heaven knows I really try not to match energy, but I'm good at it. And I'm 50 now. I ain't got time to be doing all of that.
Yeah.
no,
I don't
I
have
didn't have
time. But you
time.
have to understand, y'all, people, we are humans. And we not gonna keep letting you push our buttons.
Right.
Because at some point we gonna push you back.
Yeah.
And you
I
can't
want
get mad.
to stay away from you like that. I just want to stay away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just avoid them.
Yep.
yeah.
Hmm.
So that's one of the things that they say you should never say to somebody. And also I heard the news X, Y, and Z diet is easy to follow. Have you tried it?
Oh
Or
God.
or this one? That shirt would look better if it wasn't tucked in.
Oh God.
That's a
Yes.
roundabout. That's a
Yeah.
roundabout. Hmm.
Yeah. And this one right here. Did you know that gaining weight gonna raise your blood pressure? You know what, ma'am, sir?
And it's going to also shorten your life.
Yeah, if you
John
keep
said,
going.
John said he ain't matching energy. He'll just disconnect. disconnect.
Right.
You'll
But that's what I
feel the
just
weight
said
of that
too.
too. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here
Yeah.
for that. Tabby said, "Yep, Coach Crystal. People feel better when they can point away from themselves, and that's true. That's very, very true. And I even Tabby, I've even posted a long time ago. It amazes me still to this day how you are so clear pointing out everybody else's flaws, but it seems like you can never ever see your own. That is crazy work to me. It's insanity.
They know
You
they
can
flaws.
never see what's wrong, huh?
They know they flaws. They know them, but they know
But it's a
yours better.
deflection,
They know yours
deflecting
better.
and projecting. That's what John said.
Hmm.
And then, and let me side note right here on that. If if you are comfortable enough to say to me, "Hey, I noticed X, Y, and Z about you. Why can't I do the same with you?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
You
And
can.
you accept
Yeah, you can. Now, how they gonna take it?
that.
Right. That's the
That's the
question.
issue.
Exactly.
That's the issue right there because I just can't believe it. It's like, okay, everybody else stuff stink except yours.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
So
been
it's
around
something
since the
wrong with
beginning of time.
everybody, but ain't nothing
That's been
wrong with
around.
you.
This not new. That's been around since the beginning of time,
Yeah.
and it
Whew.
will go on.
Yeah.
It wears me thin.
You got to
Okay,
look past it. You got
now
to avoid them.
so that's a point to where we need to exercise proper etiquette is when we're talking about somebody's weight loss, weight gain. That nowadays they call it fat shaming.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's not do that, people, because
Honestly, I think it just goes. I think it's just in general. It's not bound to just your weight. I mean, I think it's anything. You know.
it's a couple more things we gonna
Oh,
dive in.
okay. All right.
I was
All
segueing.
right.
Uh huh. I was segueing because
Okay.
it's something else. It's something else that is very, very important. I have heard people talk about it. I've heard people talk about it in conversations, and that's this for the single people. When you gonna get married? Why you ain't
Ooh,
married yet? When we gonna see a ring on that finger?
just pushing you,
Mm,
just pushing.
yeah. Good evening, Kimmy. Glad to have you, of course.
Yeah.
When we gonna see a ring on that finger? When we gonna meet Mister, or when you gonna find a wife?
You may never meet him, even if I get him. You
You
may
might
never
not
meet
ever.
him. Who said that it was a privilege for you to meet him? Who put you in that group?
Sam said, someone asked me what was going on with my stomach. I want to say I didn't have surgery like you did. Woo!
Wow.
My Lord. Now that sounds like something I would say. I'm not proud of that. Let me just say that.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Yeah, you was gonna say it proudly too.
Oh, but man, I mean that's a clapback among clapbacks.
So, what's
um,
honestly? So, riddle me this: what's wrong with responding that way? It's the truth. There's nothing wrong with that.
They
There's nothing
initiated
wrong
the
with.
conversation.
Yeah, they initiated. They wanted to know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with my stomach. I just didn't have. I didn't opt to have surgery, just like you did.
I don't see nothing wrong.
And
I'm
there's
just saying.
absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I'm just saying. Um,
Yeah.
Mama said I'm just waiting on Mr. Right or wrong at this point.
Oh Lord.
um, I know you ain't talking to me. I would say what I want to say. No, I'm just kidding. Um, so yeah, it's like when you gonna get married, when you gonna find a wife, when you gonna find a husband. The last time I was asked when I was gonna find a wife, I'm gonna tell y'all what my response was. I said, I'm not.
Oh, all right.
And that was it.
Well, it's always the people who ask you things like that are either already in marriages that are shaky. They've been through a situation that was shaky, because people who have a great bond and they know what it is to be in a marriage, they're not pushing you. They're telling you to take your time. They're
Mhm.
telling you to make sure that you
Oh,
have
let's
good.
talk about that. Let's talk about that right there. And I agree with that. And I also want to add to that that there are also some who are in wonderful marriages
Mhm.
who are enjoying the bliss of all of that, and they want that for you. And there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with that.
But the delivery is different.
Mhm.
I agree. I
The
agree.
delivery is different.
I agree with that. Um, but what I'm saying is, if see, I'm trying to be real careful about what I say. Um,
We out here
lady,
now, so just say it.
lady Andrea Hudson made a comment on the post that I made early today about this show tonight. And she said, especially in the black church, does this happen?
Yeah, and I was just about to say that you'll find that more so in the church world and or in the black church than you will in any other ethnicity. How about that?
Yeah,
Um, and I think that
yeah,
it's because we've put a light on the fact that we think that everybody should be married just because, and that's not necessarily the case. Which is why there are so many marriages that are dysfunctional and are toxic and or breaking apart in the church because we're quick to put some. If we see you together, we quick to try to put you together.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Mm,
yeah.
mm,
Um, Several years ago, um, I was being interviewed. I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was Kenyatta Shepherd. She was doing a live. Um, Sometime I'm honest to a fault, uh, but at that particular time, I was just like, "Yo, this is my answer." And she asked me a similar question. We were talking about relationships, like we do a lot on this show, and she asked me if I was, getting back out there, and I was like, "No, I'm not. Uh, I'm I'm not interested in being married again. I'm okay with being unmarried. I've been there, didn't work. So what? I don't want to do it again." And I also said to her, if I chose to do that right now at that point, I would mess up that young lady's life. And the room went silent. Because we don't have enough people being honest about stuff like that.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's admirable for anyone to acknowledge that they're not ready to do that or that's not something that they're interested in. I talk to my best friend often, and we know Will how is vocal about her position. But guess what? What I admire about it is she's okay in her position. You know what I'm saying? She's vocal about it, but she's also okay in it. So you can't make somebody want something that you want if they don't want it.
Yeah.
This is
If
true.
they okay. Like she is
If the
fine.
person is okay with it, you
Yeah.
got to be okay with it.
She's not walking around miserable. And Crystal, I know I'm just talking about you, but like seriously, best friend, you're not walking around miserable.
No.
You're not seeking anything. Honey, you are living your best life.
Huh.
Okay?
Listen,
Traveling. You know, we hanging with these kids. We doing what our grown kids now. They're not just babies, but we doing what we
We
want.
hanging. We
Yeah,
hanging.
she's single and she is living. I'm married, and guess what? I'm living. So we live
Living.
two different lives, and we are okay where we are. People can be okay where they are. Will you too? You are doing the
I'm
same traveling.
perfect where I am.
Listen, we getting big, we getting small, we get
Okay.
big again, get small again. We going on vacation. Listen, we are living our lives and we are having a good time, and that's how it
Yep.
should be.
It
People
is
act
not a
like being
handicap.
single is a
And it's
handicap.
not.
See, this is what I'm talking about,
It's not.
and it's
It's
not.
not. It
And what
is not.
people find is, sometimes when they listen to that whole "why don't you get married" bid, then people's lives, like you said, are
Yes.
messed up because marriage is a work.
It is
Yeah,
7 days a week, 365 days of the year, 24.
24 hours a day.
It really is. I tell people that all the time. It is
yeah,
work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and let
Mhm.
me say that if it is your desire,
That's different.
you should have
Mhm.
what you want.
But that's the
Mhm.
key word. If it's your deed, say it
If
again.
it's your desire,
Desire.
The
Your
key word
desire.
is your,
Your.
listen.
That's right.
your.
That's period. That's it right there.
If that's what you desire, I wish all the best for you.
I
Look,
shall
I
do.
wish above all things.
Above,
Okay.
listen,
If
but
that's your desire, I wish above all
All
things.
things.
I
And Denise,
respect
the
it, I
people are
honor it,
it's not
and
your
I
desire.
want you to have it.
I
Honey.
want you to have it.
Listen, I want you. I'm cheering you on. I am your biggest cheerleader.
What do you
But
need me to
I am
do to get you
happy.
there?
Me,
Be happy.
I'm happy in this place.
Be
Hmm.
happy. That's what Pastor Patterson says. Pastor DeAndre Patterson says, be happy. Be
That's
happy
Yeah,
all you can do.
yeah,
wherever
yeah.
you are.
And I think that it's I think one of the reasons why Pastor Andrea said that is for the very reason that her brother just typed, but the church will try to make
Yeah.
you okay with getting that.
Yeah.
That's where the pressure comes in, and it's unnecessary.
So
And
unnecessary.
I did a
It's
show on this
unnecessary.
before. We did a series on this type of thing, and we talked about the pressure that comes from within the church
Mm-hmm.
because in the black church, and I keep saying the black church because I don't know no other church. I always been to black church. I got white folk at my church. I got all kind of people at my church,
Yeah.
but it's predominantly black. So I
Yeah.
said the black church. Let me say what I want to say. Um, he came up like it's something that has to happen.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
Not.
Like you gotta get married,
And you don't have to.
and you don't.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
I know somebody right now who is older than me. A young lady, she's older than me. She making her money, got
I
a
know somebody like
very
that
good
too.
job, and she ain't thinking about no man.
Not at all.
Huh.
On all stuff too.
Period.
Never
I,
been married, Crystal.
yep.
Doesn't have any children,
Mm-mm.
Oh, she
No.
and
living.
she is living a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't her desire.
Mm-hmm.
She probably in her mind, she probably if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I'm still good.
Denise
And
said
don't
that's
be in a
my
rush.
desire,
Denise.
but I'm in no rush, and that's okay. That's
Mm-mm.
okay. When the time is right,
Right.
it's
It what
going to happen.
happened.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. You
When the
can
time is right, it's
celebrate
gonna happen.
your life, but to their life as well. To your
Yeah,
life, their life. So yeah, nope. Don't be in a rush. Take your time. When it happens, if it happens, it happens. And if it does not happen, in the case that it does not happen, be happy and live your absolute best possible life.
for
Yeah,
sure. Denise, she got it right. She said if that's what she said. She said I want it, but I ain't no rush to get it because
that's right.
right now I'm enjoying me.
And period. Point blank simple. That's it. That's all.
That's it. That's it. Enjoy
Yeah.
and further to what Dr. Nancy just said, if by chance it's not on your bingo card to get married,
So this man is loaded.
understand
Bingo.
Right.
that you have not failed
That's right.
because that did not happen.
That's right.
That is true.
You
And
are
don't allow
not a
it
failure.
that way either. Don't allow anybody to make you feel like that.
Absolutely. You
Mm-mm.
are not a failure because it didn't happen. You did not fail
No,
because it did not happen. And furthermore, don't allow anybody to push you into a relationship and or marriage
that's
that
right.
you know, man or woman, that you're not ready for.
Man, because if you settle for something, I'm telling you, life will be you'll be
You'll be
miserable.
miserable.
You'll be
Yeah,
mi- and
yeah,
that thing people don't understand. It's not a contract. It's
Nope.
not a commitment. It's a covenant. So you're locked into something that you don't want to be in, and it's a shipwreck, most miserable
Yeah.
shipwreck.
Yeah. Um. See, and I think that y'all let's stay here for a minute. I think that, and God help me, I see it more so. This is me, what I see. I see it more so in females than I do in
Hmm.
men.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for
Um, there is a desire there, which is perfect. That's fine. It's
sure.
perfect for
Mhm.
you to desire it. But and this just me, y'all. All this dear future husband.
Oh
I
God.
stuff that wears me low when I
Yeah,
see it.
that's horrible. That's just bad. That's
Well, you
just
know what? A lot of women that are single don't take the opportunity to really learn who they are, to really
Oh,
love who they are.
uh,
And they're waiting everything on some prince and charming coming along, and he's going to connect all the dots. When the dots should have already been connected, the puzzles should already be put together, right?
yeah,
You're not assembling
right.
anything. It should
Yeah,
already be
yeah,
done.
yeah.
So that when he comes, it's two coming together. He's whole, you whole, and y'all come together and you one.
You
But if you're
talking
not
good.
whole,
it's
You
so
talking
good 'cause
good.
it's not a 50-50 situation. It's definitely 100-100. And I was just thinking too, like maybe we need to start or look into doing something, hosting something where
for the singles,
it can actually come out and maybe experience or hear about. Because remember when we were in high school, how we had to, maybe you all didn't have this in class, like the home economics class, we had to carry the egg around,
yeah,
or some young ladies who wished that they wanted a baby and then they realized it was a lot of work just out of have now they've got the baby now. I think they have an actual baby that cries and
uh-huh,
wet
uh-huh,
and all that other kind of stuff, gets them up in the middle of the night. Sometimes you need a dose of reality, or you need to
Yeah,
really see what the other side is before you start wishing and hoping, and
yeah.
because you don't know what you're wishing and hoping for.
yeah.
You don't.
Crystal, Crystal, get your friend.
We
He
welcome
said we
all the
welcome all the
What?
childish cat
ladies.
ladies.
It's not the only pathway.
It's not the
But
only
he right. Being married and
not
having kids is not the only
no
pathway to happiness and
no
success.
no.
You should
Being
already be
watch this.
happy.
Single means whole and complete by definition.
That's
Yeah,
right, friend.
yeah. You know, I'm
Come on,
thinking a nice beach with a beach chair and an umbrella would really make a whole lot of folks happy. I mean, I don't
Now
know,
that'll
huh?
push it over the edge.
Huh?
a little Aruba, a little Hawaii,
Yes,
A little
Lord.
something.
a little Mexico. I'm just saying.
Well, see,
But people
that's
waiting to do that. I need a mate. I need a mate. No, 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 no.
no, you
You
don't.
could travel by yourself.
Yeah, get your good girlfriends and go.
And then guess
Yeah,
what? Now you step it up a notch. When you do get them, you can say, I've been there.
Yep, 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 yep,
Do
yep.
something else.
because low key, some folks, y'all listen to me. That's watching. Listen to me. Some folks, because we're in the age of social media, they make it look good on social
Don't they
media.
make it look good? They wrap it up in a bow and
They
put
make
it
it
right
look
on
good
your
on
plate.
social media, all booed up and hugged up and kissy
Mhm.
face
Well,
and
listen,
all
what I
that, and they sleeping in
say,
two
everything that
separate
glitters
rooms.
ain't gold. Ain't that what they told us?
Yeah.
Everything that glitters is not gold.
That's right.
Yeah, no.
Sleeping in two separate rooms. Some
Some
sleeping in separate houses,
because it happens.
but you got an image to uphold.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
It
so they
happens.
put it on social media to make it look good,
Yep,
fraudulent.
Yeah.
Cause
that's a
you
good word.
last thing you want to do is rush into something, and one of them said it earlier, and end up being miserable.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So that right there, um, uh, being single is not a disease.
It's not a disease.
Uh,
Mm-mm.
Being unmarried, not like you got the plague. Now, if you want to get biblical, we can talk about what the Apostle Paul said
Well, talk about it.
about being single.
tell us.
Because if I have to come back next week, because we can dive some more into this, and I'm okay with it. Because it's the marriage. Let me just say this: Married life ain't for everybody.
It's
It's
not.
not.
It's
It
just not.
definitely is not for the
Sorry.
weak.
It's not.
Amen.
It's
It's
not for the
not.
weak.
I've been married, and when what happened with that marriage happened, I bailed as quickly as I could. Y'all don't like this kind of honesty because once I was in it, I was going for I was going to the finish line. I'm committed
Mm-hmm.
to this thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I felt like this is what they want me to do. Y'all
Hmm.
ain't listening to honesty tonight.
Yeah. Talk about it.
So I said, well, I'm gonna ride this joker out.
Yeah.
But when certain stuff happened, I said, this is my exit. Because I had a legal right to exit. So I did. Because in the back of my mind, I didn't want to be there. And truthfully speaking, when I did get married, I never should have got married in the first place. I can tell on myself.
And that's big that you even say it. It's so true. That's true.
Now
Yeah,
y'all don't need to know what happened. You ain't gonna know. Some stuff y'all take to the grave with you.
Period. Please
that's
do.
true.
But what did happen gave me a legal way out, and so I got out. But the point is, I never should have got in the first place. I did it because I felt like it's that
This was
pressure
being
that we
true.
talk about. I felt like this is what people want me to do because you the preacher and you the this and you the that. You just gotta have a wife. You gotta be married. Why do I gotta? Why do I gotta be married? You know.
You don't.
Um, Kimmy said, I desire to be married, and God has promised me several times. It's His will for me, but I'm patient and I'm not in a rush because I want His best. And when you wait on God, He will give you His best. He will indeed.
I do
Um,
want to go back to what you were talking about earlier, just a few minutes ago, though, about the whole posting and saying, my future husband. Let me let y'all in on a secret. That's scaring them off.
Yeah.
That's making them go the other way. That's
oh,
making them want to look at you. That's making them want to question all of your back.
talk about it.
I'm just saying. Because who's doing that? And why are you doing that? Like, what's the purpose? You don't have to do that. And then what do you say after let's say he appears or he's there? What are you gonna start posting next? So yeah, that would make a man and a woman go the opposite
Run.
way. Run
Yeah.
for it. Hmm.
Run.
So I just want everybody, if that's your desire, I want you to have it. But if it's not your desire, that's okay too.
So true. And be
More
okay.
than okay.
Cause I don't have a marriage license nowhere. I am enjoying my life
Ha.
Fine.
and gonna get on airplane I want to.
And he's taken anyway. He's taken by me.
Huh? I
You're
got
taken.
sisters. I
Right.
got best friend. I got my life is full.
Look, Chris, he's taken. Like
He's occupied. He's occupied.
I'm occupied.
tell him,
My life is
keep
full.
him busy,
My life
Chris.
is full.
Oh, he
And
got
I'm
Look,
happy.
he's
time.
busy.
He ain't got time.
He
And
can't
yeah,
come to the phone.
I'm married, but guess what? He's my brother. I keep him busy, so he ain't got time.
She does. She really there is something else. One more thing. One more thing. We coming back, and we're gonna talk about this next week because I want to get more into the singleness thing. I want to revisit that because
I
we
think
need to
good.
revisit that.
Yeah.
I feel that. Something else, and this is especially for my young ladies. Something else that is we need to practice proper etiquette on, and that is when you gonna have some kids.
Ugh.
Right under the whole marriage situation. Don't push that because kids are more than like my mom used to say. They are more than a notion
Ugh.
Yeah. Um.
And they come with a
I
lot of unexpected events.
and a big
I
price.
found
Honey.
um let me pull this up. I found an article on the Huffington Post .com, and they give 6 things you should never say to someone without kids, but people do anyway. It was the simple question: why don't you have kids? Rude.
Rude.
How's that
And
working out for
this
you?
one that I wanted to point out, huh?
When they ask you that, say, how's it working out for
Wait
you?
a minute. Don't project your ideas on me. Listen,
Don't project your ideas on me. That's
but
good.
yeah, this one we're not gonna get into all of them because we're gonna get off of here soon. This one thing that one of the 6 that they said, and I think that this is I kind of understand. I think, but at the same time, I don't because I think it's a misconception, and that's this: you'll never know true love if you don't have kids.
Oh, bye.
I
That is not
don't
a
agree with
fact.
it.
That's
I,
not a fact.
I totally
I
disagree with.
do not agree with that.
Yeah, neither do I.
Um,
Mm-mm.
because again, biologically, I don't have any children. I got a godson whom I love very dearly. He loves me. Um, and we good over there.
Huh.
Um, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything because
Yeah,
I
You're
that's
was
not.
gonna
good
say I'm a
growth.
childless cat fan, but I ain't got no cats.
And whatever
Uh,
level you think you're missing, we got a kid. You just let us know where you
I'm,
want to be.
Listen,
I'm good.
Let us know.
I'm good. I'm good. But yeah, I think that this is one of these things, one of these statements that make people feel bad about not having children. And I also feel like, just like we said before when we were talking about the weight loss thing, you don't know what's going on inside of
yeah,
a woman's
so-
body.
so-
That's
Maybe
right.
maybe she been trying.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe she's
So
been through something traumatic and she doesn't want to.
absolutely. And you see how nasty and rude
Yeah.
things like this, saying things like that, you see how that
Yeah.
may come off, because to somebody that really wants children
Mm-hmm.
and cannot physically, biologically have them, you don't know the story.
Yeah,
You
and
don't.
that
Now you
When you
opening up a
gonna
whole
have
nother wound.
kids? And now you just a question like that to the wrong person can
yeah,
send them down into deep
Yeah.
yeah,
depression.
Yeah.
for sure. That yeah, that's bad. Yeah, I agree.
It's people
So
don't have
women need to
consideration.
find out. Talk, Coach Crystal. I'm sorry.
You got to have consideration for people. You have to foresee that something that you're saying could be problematic.
Mhm.
So you
Yeah.
got to think before you talk.
Right.
You got to
Yeah,
think. And a lot of people
yeah,
just don't do that. They just talking for just to be talking.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so I know some things about some people, and I could only imagine somebody that doesn't know
Yeah.
what it feels like to that woman when they say, "Ooh, when you going you ain't got no kids yet? What y'all
Mhm.
waiting on?"
And she
Mhm.
just
Oh,
had a
hell.
miscarriage. She might have just had a miscarriage a month before, and here you come. She may be going through in vitro, and here you come.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so many other things. PCOS prohibits sometimes a
Yeah.
lot of
Correct.
infertility issues,
It's a
reproductive
lot of
issues.
infertility
A
issues.
lot of issues. Yes.
A woman's body is complicated.
Having a baby, that is a miracle. Having a baby, because anything can prohibit you from having a kid. Anything,
Anything. It's
anything.
inconsiderate and it's ignorant.
Yeah.
Hi, godson. My godson said hi.
Hey.
Yeah. So it's really it's It's dumb, it's ignorant, it's rude, it's inconsiderate.
All of that.
Y'all,
It's
we have got
All
to
of it.
mind our mouths.
yeah, for sure. For sure. Sure.
Some people, some, okay, mm, just a scenario. I'm just pulling out the air. What happened if a young lady decided, oh, she made a mistake, she messed up at 16
Oh
and
God.
had an abortion, but that one abortion did her
Took
in.
everything. Yep.
So now she's 30
Yeah.
and cannot have children.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she really wants them, but she can't have them. You see how a question like that could
Yeah.
mess with somebody mentally.
She's already in a position where it may be something that's hindering her. I have friends who have kids. I'm watching my friends have what I want. I'm out and about. Everybody got a kid. And then here you come with, well, girl, when you going to have some?
Yeah,
That could literally put somebody clean over the edge.
yeah, it could, it really
Literally.
could. And
Yeah.
y'all, believe it or not, we're talking about simple etiquette.
Yeah.
It's simple.
Yep.
It's being polite. It's being mindful,
Mm-hmm.
right? Charlotte said it happened to her. And I was like, I'm trying, but that ain't none of your business. It'll happen when it happens.
And that's it.
And that's it. That's it. That's all.
That's a good response. I bet you they weren't quite expecting that.
They
Yeah.
probably won't ask again to anybody.
Or they ask when y'all gonna have another one, not knowing I miscarried months ago. It's
And
triggering.
how many you want me to have?
Like Crystal.
I mean,
Who gonna pay for
She
these
y'all,
got
bags? Who pay?
three. She got three already.
look, how much you got on it?
Listen,
Right.
how much you gonna? That's it right there. You gonna help me pay for it?
Just
But Charlotte, I
Yep.
understand. I understand. This is why we're this. See, this is why we're bringing up topics like this. When you gonna have another one? Not knowing she
yeah,
miscarried months ago. It's triggering. Mind your business.
that's it.
Yeah.
Mind
I think people need to
your
be mindful of the relationship as well. Like, what's your some people I think it's so ignorant and disrespectful because you cannot even have a relationship. Most people don't even have a relationship with the person that they're asking these kind of crazy or making these statements to. You know what I'm saying? Like they just walk up
Yeah,
to random people. Just because I see you on Facebook or we're Facebook friends does not mean that we are friends.
because we are.
absolutely,
Hey,
absolutely.
just because we work together or go to church together does not mean that we are friends
Because
or
we
that
Right.
are
there's a
not.
relationship there established where you can come and ask me those type of questions or have that kind of
Yeah.
conversation with me.
Yeah.
So I think even in that, people just simply need to be mindful because it's
Yeah.
ignorant, downright ignorant
Yeah.
when you walk up to people and start talking to them like that. Just because you see them from Sunday to Sunday, like, hey girl, when you have another baby? And I just saw you last Sunday or 2 Sundays ago. I haven't seen you or talked
Yeah.
to you since. That's
And didn't see
crazy.
you prior to that. What are we talking about?
What are we
Read the
talking
room.
about?
Read the room.
Yep.
We're gonna get back into this next
I
week.
think we should. I think we should.
Um
It's
what
good.
what all of this shows is that people want you to live your life according to their standard and
This is
prescription
true.
for you. They map and plan out your life for you. And I am the one, my name is Will, and I'm saying I'm the one who that ain't gonna work for me.
Yeah.
Because anybody know me, y'all know y'all know I'm gonna do my own thing. I don't care. I really don't care what nobody says. And
And
again, let me say this. I think I think there's. I said this earlier. Some people listen to me want what's best for you, but what I'm telling you is the way I'm living is what's
Yeah.
best for me.
I'm the only
Right.
person that knows what's best
Right.
for me.
Right.
Listen, that's what I'm saying.
Right. Right.
And at this
Just
point, it
because
don't
that
include
was
you.
your formula
Right.
and it
Right.
worked for you, I'm happy for you, but this works for me.
And even if it's not their formula, again, just like let's not be ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Let's just not be ignorant and just walk up to people and say things to them or put things on them.
Randomly.
Rant, yeah, like it's just
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's pure ignorance. Like
My favorite
Because some
African.
people don't even have a standard for life. Some people can't even, if you ask someone why they asked you that, they probably won't even be able to answer the
They
question.
don't have an answer.
Right. So it's
Right.
just ignorance. It's ignorance. It's really what it is.
And it's ignorance at its best.
It
You have
is.
no idea. I'm going to be careful how I say what I'm about to say. There, across this world, there are there is a large number of people who are married on paper.
Oh
Hmm.
wow, yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
That's all. That's. I'm gonna leave that right there.
We just
Okay.
add that on to next week. We just top it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's a lot right there to unpack.
You unpacking a whole lot. You want to unpack.
This girl.
Say it with your
Right,
chest.
right. Because I mean, he came on ready, loaded, okay, locked and
I
loaded.
was ready. Narisha, take my favorite African American. I
Hey, Risha.
already know how you responded, so
It was
don't hype
definitely
none
world.
of it.
Worldly.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because you kind of get tired of it.
Hmm. Yeah.
I can only speak for myself. I got tired of people asking me, when you going when you going you looking? You No, I'm not
No.
looking.
Hmm.
When you gonna get married? You gonna get married again? No, I'm not. Well,
Yeah.
you never know what God has for you.
Oh, please.
Don't don't even run that one.
I do know what
Okay?
he has for me. This plane ticket.
This plane ticket, huh?
Huh?
A resort.
I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. And
But
you
hey,
what
how
you
about
say?
ain't it funny that they don't know either? Like you don't know what God has for you. Well, guess what? Neither do you.
You don't need.
Are y'all having conversations that I don't know about me?
I wish I
Like
had some
seriously?
bottles under this table I could shake like T.S. Madison. Uh, yeah, I got to send you some of them videos, Crystal. They are hilarious. But yeah, I think that so that's a whole nother thing right there, John Stennis. That's something else. That's
Definitely.
something else.
Definitely.
Woo, boy. How many more weeks we got in this? Oh, this the last
Are
week.
we done? We
Lord
finna
have
go
mercy.
into November.
Oh, oh, the fourth
But
and
that's
the
good
11th.
though.
Okay, yeah, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about that.
Because even in that manipulation,
Yeah.
are you gonna walk that thing out with me when it's time for deliverance?
Mm-mm.
Because that right there, that'll
Yeah,
cause a lot of spiritual
it will.
manipulation.
It
It'll
will.
cause a
It
lot of
will.
hurt,
And that's not
pain,
fair.
divorce,
Yeah.
kids feeling unloved. Come on.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
okay, we got the
Hey,
next 2 weeks
and pass
mapped
the
out.
wheel for the church folks. Here you go. And when you start spiritually manipulating people, guess what? You have now crossed over into witchcraft.
Witchcraft. Witchcraft. Good night, Mama. Love you.
Good
Yes,
night.
John. Suicide. Good night,
Yeah,
Mama.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think we got some good stuff to talk about in the coming weeks.
I'm gonna reach out to. Well, that's we'll talk about that offline. Yeah, that spiritual manipulation is witchcraft.
It is.
Yeah.
Period. Ain't no way around it.
Ain't no way around it. You are a witch at that point. You are a witch and or a warlock.
Cause you say you know.
Hmm.
So we're going to listen, y'all. Next week, y'all come back next
Yeah.
week because we're gonna talk about this singleness thing. Um, and then I can't even get into the spiritual manipulation next week. That's got to be a show of its own.
Oh yeah, definitely. A show of
It's
its
got
own.
to be a show of its own. So the
Agreed.
next 2 weeks we have, we, I'm gonna scratch out what I had planned because we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this,
I like
and
that.
seeing that next Monday is will be in the month of November, which of course Thanksgiving is coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Um, we are Billy Taylor Ministries is having our now annual Thanksgiving pre-Thanksgiving service, and you'll be glad to know that I have spoken with Pastor Anthony Spencer and asked him if he would be willing to come back. He said, "Of course." He'll be here with us on Monday, November 25th, for our annual pre-Thanksgiving service. So you guys, you'll be seeing a flyer about that. So next week we're gonna come back. My relationships and my singleness have lasted longer than some marriages.
Yeah.
Listen
Good
to me.
night. Good, good
What I'm
night.
saying.
Good
Listen to
night.
what I'm saying. So I want you to come. I want all of y'all to come back next Monday and bring somebody with you because we're gonna dive really way into the singleness, um, and we're gonna take a look at even some of it biblically because it's nothing wrong and nothing sinful
Right.
about being single.
True.
Okay, we're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at it because, and I really wanna. I'm gonna rewatch the show because I have to remind myself to say it again about you people feeling like they're a failure because they haven't gotten married, and that's just not the case.
Not at
It's
all.
not the case. So I want you all to come back um with us next Monday night. Don't forget next Tuesday, November 5th. Do
Vote.
what you gotta do. Do what
Kobo.
you gotta do. If you're not registered to vote, go to iwillvote.com to register either online or in person. Don't stay on your couch watching TV that day.
Go.
Get your tail up, out, and vote.
Yes.
Okay? It's very, very important. It's crucial.
Yeah.
Eh, Your vote does count. Don't let nobody tell you it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your vote does count. So get out and vote. Um, don't care how you vote, who you vote for. And also, like Coach said earlier in the show, we're not just voting for the president. We're voting for the Senate. We're voting for the House. We're voting for judges.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We're voting for a lot of stuff.
A lot of
Your
stuff.
vote matters.
Yeah.
Right? You see, remember this stuff. Remember this. Your vote matters. All right. So exercise your civil duty, your civil and civic duty. Put those votes in next Tuesday, but we'll be back next Monday night. We're gonna tap into the single life and all that it entails. We're gonna look at it naturally and spiritually, and of course, because Dr. Nancy is a marriage counselor by profession, we're gonna hear a whole lot from her about about this topic. So you guys join us next Monday night. We'll be back at 7 p.m. Thank you for joining us tonight. If you are a fan of audio podcasts and would like to replay this, you will be able to listen to us on Spotify. Just search the Self Checkout Show, click the subscribe button, and you'll get the notifications every time I upload the audio version to Spotify. All right. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. For Coach Crystal and Dr. Nancy, I'm Pastor Will. We'll see you next Monday night on your favorite Christian talk show, the Self Checkout Show. Good night, everybody.
Got it.
Good night.